Before we even begin, listen closely to what this defendant is about to say. She's standing in court trying to explain years of addiction, trauma, and repeated mistakes. But here's the key question. Can personal recovery outweigh a criminal record that keeps repeating itself? Let's watch how this emotional plea unfolds.
Your Honor, I just want to say that the past was fueled by drugs and alcohol. I take complete responsibility for that. I did not know from very young when things happened in my life that it could have been, some of it could have been treated and stopped earlier if I had gotten help for my mental health. That after I received this DWI, that helped me get myself to a place that I could go into a treatment program and deal with some of those past traumas. In the past, I didn't. I medicated and drank to just forget.
This is a moment you see fairly often in courtrooms. Defendants explaining the root cause behind their behavior. Addiction, trauma, and untreated mental health issues can absolutely play a role in criminal conduct. But legally speaking, acknowledging the cause doesn't automatically erase responsibility. Judges usually weigh two things here: rehabilitation versus public safety.
Forget about the pain, just numb myself out. I didn't know how else to deal with that. And when I got on my mental health meds, and I had bipolar, I had PTSD, and my mind back then was very chaotic. And I just want to say, after I had my mental health meds, I was able to go through treatment at Santa Maria in Houston, and that place really saved my life. I did extensive 90-day treatment with trauma counselors. It was a trauma-informed community there. And also, when I completed that, I worked an outpatient program, but I still lived on their facility. I went to the sex trafficking and recovery program, and I was in that for about 8 months, where I got the state paid.
At this point, she's laying out something very important: proof of rehabilitation efforts. Courts often look at treatment programs, sobriety programs, and counseling as signs someone is trying to change. But here's where things get complicated. This case isn't about one mistake. As we're about to hear, the judge has to consider a much longer history.
For the counseling for trauma still, and I just worked really hard in that. I got a job while I was in there. And then once that program was over, I moved to a sober living facility in Oxford House in spring, and I worked there until I felt like I was strong enough to come home and do what I needed to do. And I was in the complete program for right a year. And I'm sorry, I'm very nervous today, and I know that
She just used atrocious. That's a huge admission. When defendants acknowledge their record in court, it can sometimes show accountability. But it also hints that even she knows a judge is about to face a very difficult decision.
My past record is, like Brian said, atrocious. But you know, the things that I had to deal with within myself from when I was a little girl, those are things that you don't go to prison, even in their programs there, that you don't talk about. It's just, you just don't. And I'm asking you, please do not send me back to prison. I want to move forward. I have moved forward in my life, and this year that I've been in jail has given me more time to think and know that I am definitely headed in the right direction. I have a sponsor. I attend AA at home. I moved on with my life as far as I could with my sobriety. I mean, I knew this charge was out there, And I think I made some really good choices with my Mid-County AA friends. They've helped me a lot, and I am open to anything. I will.
Now, this is a final emotional appeal, the moment where defendants hope the judge will choose mercy over punishment. But judges don't just look at today's progress. They look at patterns over time. And what the judge is about to reveal changes the entire perspective of this case.
Abide by all the rules, and do anything that's asked of me. And I think, I know now that I'm responsible and capable of taking care of my business and my life.
Thank you. So, Ms. Welch, Ms. Malfino probably said it yet best, and I get this often, and I don't envy my position, and this is the worst part of my job. But I worked hard to get here, and it's my job. Part of my job, it's several things, and it's to look at, obviously defendants and giving chances and things like that, but it also is about making our community safe. And
there it is, the number that changes everything, 10 DWIs. In legal terms, repeated drunk driving convictions dramatically increase the seriousness of the crime. At this point, the judge isn't just evaluating her personal progress. He's evaluating the risk to the entire community. And that's why sentencing in cases like this often becomes extremely severe.
I have to look back. This is your 10th DWI. It's not your 5th. It's not your 8th. It's the 10th. And while I understand the trauma that you went through, you've been to Safe P 3 times. You've been given opportunities on probation where they were revoked. You've had opportunities while you were on parole to do what you have done now. And while I appreciate what you've done, and I think that's great, and my goal isn't to, to stop any improvement, but I can't, in my opinion, in good faith, go home tonight, look myself in the mirror and say I gave somebody on their 10th DWI that your last sentence was for 15 years in prison. The one before that was for 10. The one before that, you've gone to another 10 year back in 09. I mean, this goes back to the 90s. You got a 10-year sentence in 2011. While you're on parole for that one, you get another one. So they give you 15 years and you get out and you're on parole and you do it again. The fact is, we're just lucky that you haven't killed someone in our community 9 times over. Being given opportunities. I just can't do it. I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find and your plea of true to the prior offense. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of driving while intoxicated. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 18 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive.
Comment your opinion, like the video, and subscribe for more real courtroom moments.